Coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
And hoping to get rid of that interception bug. Lawrence going to put it up right away. It's complete to Brown, right side. It's a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. This defense for the Texans, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Got a man, it's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Finding Knox there, complete. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 37-yard line. Now Lawrence to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Lawrence. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Lawrence will throw. trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick six to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I can say their plan worked to perfection.
Point after try forthcoming. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
So out come the Texans in great starting field position. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. They'll set up to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. It's now 4th down. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 21 carries, a trip to the end zone to go along with 118 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Texans! A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
Lawrence.
And he'll just get rid of it. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Now Lawrence.
Flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
Throw left side complete. That's Brown.
2nd down and 3. They go back to the ground with Edwards-Helaire.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence.
Buying time to his left. And the ball is knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number two, maybe they actually have the lead.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Sometimes the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own. You've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
first down. They'll go to the ground attack.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Second and 2. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. $17-0 our score after one. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. They're going to look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Texans are able to add on to their first half lead. That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. The quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox.
It's a pickup of 12, and they'll set up a 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire.
And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted into the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
And this offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Quick slant to Brown. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone.
And this one dropped in the end zone. It looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's 4th down. Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's got him in, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw here. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, there's a trust factor in that call. Turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the 1st down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there.
His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So a big decision there to go on 4th down. Gets him not only the first, but gets him the touchdown as well.
And Brandon, you and I know that all these coaches tell us if every play is executed the way it's designed, it goes for a touchdown. But let's be honest, they were shooting for the 1st down on that one. And boy, were they fortunate to take it all the way in.
Point after here coming up. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 2nd and 5. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line.
And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Touchdown! A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On first down, Lawrence.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later.
They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
And they will begin in field goal range already as they search for a potential score.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now a timeout signal for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and it's the Buccaneers who are out in front. Dameon Pierce, a force in that first half with 2 touchdown runs. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. The Vikes trying to hold on and claim victory. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Texans, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Texans to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll start on the ground here on first down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. From 3 yards out.
And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here's Lawrence.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire.
And some room to work.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And now here's another interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play.
Down to about the 45.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll set up a throw. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. His pass caught at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Back to throw again. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted.
And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Fielded just inside the 20.
Houston's offense taking over again. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 68 yards.
And the Texans extend their lead yet again.
Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and ran. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to...
And my goodness, another interception. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TV.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
With a try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Lawrence to throw.
And Reed with it over the middle.
And he will have a Jaguars first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Lawrence will throw.
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
He's going deep for Brown. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Again, it's Lawrence.
Over the middle here to Brown.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Now Edwards-Helaire.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here.
Now Lawrence.
And now here's another interception.
And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 10. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return.
And the Texans will take over.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
You know, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence out to the left. He's got his tight end Knox. Third and 2. Now Lawrence. He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Oh, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Got a man, it's Brown. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And this one complete to Reed. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. Quick slant to Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on 3rd and 3. Lawrence. He completes it to the tight end Knox. And he is going to have a Jags first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. From midfield now, Lawrence. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Here's Lawrence to throw. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
First and goal.
Here's Lawrence. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Koo able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Houston set to take over. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And this has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Texans, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.